2.
I'll see if it feeds back, whatever. It probably won't.
Yeah, so I've started it now.
Okay, let me try if I can go to
it's
minimize this. Go to, okay, click on here.
Can you see the live chat now?
Okay, I muted that. You can still hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. Now go.
There's no
I see the little, yeah, I see the dots. Pop out chat. There we go.
So hello everybody. We've got 2 viewers at present, and tonight's one-to-one interview is with Richard Palmisano, and he's from New Orleans. Is that Louisiana? Richard? Richard.
How you doing, everyone? How you doing, Keith?
All right, thank you. We've got Darwin droning on, and he says hi all. So, Richard, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, I'm 46. I'll be 46 years old in December. I've been married 22 years. I have 3 kids. My oldest one, he has disability. He has Down syndrome. He's 22. My daughter, she's a senior this year. She just made 17, and my youngest just made 15. And I live in New Orleans, Louisiana.
I thought that was how you pronounced it. His name's Richard Palmisano. I think that's how you pronounce it. So
the easiest way to remember it is 4 syllables. Palmisano.
Palmisano. Yeah. So I see we've got all the crowd over from Pixie's channel because he's just interviewed Mel. We've got Random Life, International Man of Mystery. Hi, Richard. Random Life says, and Salty.
Hello.
Hello, Richard. So I've got no one helping me with the chat tonight. So Paul's here, 007 Vauxhall. Hi, Paul. Nice to see you. Keith, I've been to New Orleans 4 times, Random. So can you tell us a bit about your channel, what it's all about then, Richard, please?
Sure. Of course, the droning is my hobby that I like to do. So I like to go out and edit footage, and mostly drone footage for people to see. I spend a lot of time on my editing. I also have some videos with my son. He's a ham when it comes to the camera. So and just fun entertainment. Just a side thing I like to do.
So which son is it that helps you with the editing and with the camera work?
Well, I use my drone, which is the Phantom 3 Advanced. I believe that's the one you have too, right?
It is, yeah, Richard. Well, I did have, but a certain someone from Sheffield took it with him, and I ain't got it back. But that's only joking. I have got it still. But he keeps on offering me pennies for it, and I keep on saying no. I want a bit more, If he offered me $450 for it, he could have it, and I'd go out and buy the Mavic then.
But as far as the editing, I use Power Director 14. It's real simple. It's fast rendering. It does what I want it to do. I edit I get the footage, and then I just go ahead and use the software.
Yeah.
So
can you see the chat as well?
I'm trying to get this open as we speak. If you give me a minute here, I'm trying to get both of the screens there on here, and it seems that the chat window wants to be the biggest one.
Yeah. Hello,
here we go.
Budget. Nice to have you in on the chat window.
Let's see. Okay, I think I got it now. I'm trying to move it without it blowing up.
That's the isn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought, Darwin droning. $450 is a good price considering it cost me $800 when I bought it. $799 when I bought that Phantom 3 Advanced.
Yeah, I think I got it for $6.99 on Amazon.
Yeah, yeah. So you got it at a good price, but I've seen it advertised now for about $550, $575. So he would be getting a good price on that, because the Mavic would cost me about $900, I think, if I went for the Mavic.
Wow.
Thank you.
I would try to buy one, but unfortunately, my pocket says you're good. You can't afford it. It's doing what you needed to do, so I just continue to have the Advance.
Yeah, I think the Advance is a brilliant machine to fly.
Most
Very
definitely.
easy and everything like that. Now, I've been having a look through your videos like I always do, and the first one I came across, which was about 4 years ago, because you
Wow.
joined YouTube on the 3rd of December 2012, and your first video you put up was your son Bryce and you playing a Halloween theme.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Can you remember that video from 4 years ago?
Yes, I actually do. And you know what? I think I went back and had a glance on that to see how young he was. And he was so young and his voice was so, still like a baby. And now that he's 15, I can't even get him to get on camera no more. So I it's a good memory and a moment to have.
Yeah. So he won't come on camera at all now then, because
Oh, he
the first
probably.
few videos that I watched today of your past videos, he was playing quite a bit on the. Is it an organ you've got?
It's actually it's a Yamaha DX on a Yamaha
Yeah.
keyboard.
Yeah, keyboard. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had got him one for Christmas, and he picked it up, played by ear, and I was like, wow, that's pretty good. Keep it up. He'll hear a song and learn it. With no music, because we don't read music. I always played by ear.
Yeah.
And I said, would you do some videos with me? And I don't know how I got him to do it, but and as in the video, he did it with me, and he did a pretty good job, So
yeah. So is he still playing the keyboards then?
he off and on, he's mainly into his gaming now. You know how that is the teenage years now, so they go in spurts.
Yeah, yeah. So he's not into the fairer sex yet then?
No.
No. What about your other son, Brandon? Is he?
Brandon?
Yeah, because I also watched the video you put up of his graduation about 4 months ago, I think that was.
Yes, he graduated from St. Michael's. We now have him it's called the ARC, where I live. It's a community for children, boys and girls, like adults like him that don't have a job after they get out of school, but they involve in they do some wonderful things. They go to the old folks home and help people out. They go bowl. They do a lot of great activities, and it keeps him busy, instead of staying home all day.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good thing. So what's his ambition in life then? What does he want to be?
Brandon wants to be home for the rest of his life with his mom and dad. I don't see anything in him.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a good thing, So
yeah, that's one less child I have to worry about getting into the real world.
Well, yeah. I don't blame you. I'm just having a quick look at the chat. I'm waiting for the next spark, so Random Life says. And AKA Our Life's On, Keith and Abby. And Bella, I will have a look at that message later on when I get finished, and I'll message you back then, my love. Oh, Darwin Drowning says he paid £400 for his standard, which is a very good price.
And £400 in American dollars is what?
About 450, because it's only about 120 to the dollar now, I think.
Oh, okay.
Dollars about 120.
I always get that confused, converting pounds to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you consider when I first started coming to the States, which is about 25 years ago, I used to get about $2.50 to the pound. Last time I went, I got about 142, which is about 3 years ago. I flew into Atlanta and drove down to El Paso in Texas, and then back to Atlanta, calling at New Orleans, Houston, San Antonio, and then to El Paso, and then back. I did really want to get up to Oklahoma City, but I didn't have enough time.
Cool. So what do you do during you retired, right?
Yes, I'm 67. I'm 68 next birthday.
Oh, okay. So you have a lot of time to get
Yeah,
on and
I'm
do
an
this.
old guy, Richard. Yeah, yeah. But because I had my own video filming business, how long ago? 28 years ago. So I started my own video filming business when I was 39, which is about 28 years ago.
Awesome.
And I used to work from the beginning of May to the end of September I used to do about 30, 35 weddings, christenings, commercial jobs and so forth like that. I just wish I'd had the technology that we've got now, because in my day it was the reel-to-reel SVHS video recorders. Well, when I first started, it was just ordinary VHS. It used to be a separate camera, separate recorder. They were really heavy, and then you just jog shuttle the video recorders and played it back, and you bought a separate titler, you bought a separate mixer for the audio and your video, so you get 2 tracks in, and I mean, it used to take me on average about 80 hours to edit one wedding in those days.
Wow.
I used to I might have done about 8 hours of filming with 2 cameras, and then you got to look up all the footage, you got to put it down, mark where it is, on paper, and then trying to put a video together took about 80 hours in those days. Whereas now, I could do a wedding and edit it in about 20 hours, and then you've got all the special effects in all the software, and really, it's a lot easier now than what it was. And the cameras
time has changed. Yes, technology has changed so much. It's actually scary.
yeah. And just think, in another 10 years, what's it going to be like then?
Oh, man.
8K.
Star Trek.
yeah, 8K. I mean, you can't keep up with technology, and I mean, the cameras now are vastly different to what I used, but they've still got certain problems, like the autofocus isn't fast enough. Now, with a lot of cameras, they are wired focus, so you can't do proper pull focuses like you could with older cameras, where you could mark, it had the dial on and you could mark. So there's a lot of things that I think that these camera manufacturers could do to help professionals as well as amateurs, really.
You still have all your old equipment?
I've got 3 SVHS video recorders. Yeah. I've got 2 Philips DVD recorders. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tungsten lights, 2000 kilowatts. I've still got my old Vision mixer, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras still.
Hey, they might be worth money one day, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I've got how many tapes? I must have 300 wedding tapes on mini DVD filmed in SVHS, and I keep on thinking, should I throw them out or should I keep them? Because I've got nearly 250 DVDs of holidays.
Jeez,
and I must have 3, 4. I must have about 800 wedding DVDs still in the cupboard that I've kept in case anybody ruins the DVD or the VHS tape that they got from me, and they want a new copy. Because you never know.
That's right. That's right.
But being retired, best thing I ever did, because now I think people, especially the brides, are a lot more demanding. Because in my day, when we did a wedding, we got fed, watered, and we had a great time. We'd join in with the guests and have a great time on the dance floor. Nowadays, the brides want everything filming, and you don't get fed, you don't get watered, so they expect a lot more for the money.
And I tell you what, the price has dramatically changed now. It's
Oh, yeah.
unbelievable what you pay for just the photography in the weddings is unreal.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Well, when I started, Richard, to do a wedding, I used to charge £395, which back in that day, $2. So it'd be about $700. When I finished my last wedding, I did a 3-camera setup, and we charged $3,500, which would have been about $4,250.
Cool, cool.
For a day's work, you know. So
yeah.
But it's your son's on. He says, "Hi, Dad."
I see that he's peeking up on me there.
So you know, it has changed, and I mean, you look at a photographer. A photographer's always earned more than a videographer, because I mean, some of the weddings I did, the photographers used to charge £5,000 or £6,000, which would have been about $7,500, $8,000, and you consider most wedding photographers are only there for 2 to 3 hours. Where you as a videographer, or me as a videographer, we're on the go perhaps 12, 13 hours, starting with the bride getting ready, filming them, and then filming the full service. It's a lot of stress.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised with all the new phones coming out. That's going to be your next video. Oh, you know, how much you charge, and they're going to come in there with their cell phone and take all the pictures, you know, and be just as good as quality.
Yeah, they are. Thanks a lot, Bryce, for subbing to me. I really appreciate that. So get back to asking you a few questions then. So what do you do for a living then, Richard, if you don't mind?
I am a hydraulic mechanic. I've been doing that for 27 years. I do all the commercial equipment for Department of Transportation and Jefferson Parish. I do all their cylinders, you know. I try to do just that because they bring me jacks and pumps. I really don't. I like to stick with the cylinders, but you know, I got to make the customers happy. So
yeah. So. And what about your wife? Does she work as well?
My wife homeschools Bryce.
Oh, does she?
Yes, she went to college, highest in the class, Victoria, and she went for elementary teaching, and she feels like, man, I went 5 years of college for this. I don't even like it. She's stressed out. The kids would stress her out. She'd come home crying, you know, and I said, listen, if you're not happy with this, you need to do something about it, you know. Yeah. And so she says, I actually told her, I said, you know what, you don't have to work. Just stay home, take care of the kids, and do what you do, you know, and I'll work, you know. So
that is, you know, that's what a husband should do.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, look after the family. You know, the family comes in everything.
That's right. I don't even look at the check. I just give it to her, and she pays all the bills. I trust her, whatever. You know, make sure everything's paid for, and you know, it's all good. You know, because she's not the one to go out and get her nails done and all that. She can live without that. You know, but
yeah. So
I told her, you need to do something. You know, she doesn't really have a hobby. You know, I said. You know,
so she don't come on any of your videos, does she?
Are you kidding me? No way.
You know, it's like my wife. She supports me, but she doesn't like being in front of the camera. Nor do I, really, because I mean, when you look, I mean, I started in photography first before I went into videography. That was going back 1980s. I started in photography just as an hobby. I didn't turn it into a business. I've always been behind the camera and never been in front. Just going to say hello to JP John in Fortaventura. Hope you all go over and sub to him. Great guy, John. So I'm going to try and get him on one of me one-to-ones sometime. Oh, your son's subbing to
Maz
as well.
Hello, Maz. Good day, buddy.
Yeah, I'm Maz. Yeah, so we've got 14 watching and we've had 6 likes. So we're not doing so bad, Richard, are we?
Okay, okay.
So just going back to some of your videos that I thoroughly enjoyed was you've done quite a few showing the Mississippi, which I thoroughly enjoyed. So do you have any problems when you're flying in the city or on the city's edges?
Well, you said it, on the outer series, because actually I don't think I would ever fly in the city. You know, I see a lot of videos where, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's some great shots, but it comes with a lot of, you know, disadvantages flying into the city, you know.
Yeah.
And one of them, I wanted to go get the shot of the Superdome, but it is a strictly no-fly zone. I mean, if you took your drone and flew over it, you probably would lose signal.
Yeah.
You know, but that's why I think the video you seen, I was actually on the West Bank. I was across the river, capturing the city from, you know, across.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun, you know. It's nice to let people see different parts of the world, you know.
Yeah.
Like people see the city and bridges and trees and alligators, and I'm amazed with the mountains and snow. You know, it's just everyday Joe. They so used to filming, but everybody else enjoys it, you know.
Yeah. So how did you get into videoing then? Using the drone and also using the camera?
Actually,
was it a hobby?
I actually watch you. I never got into droning until actually watching YouTube. You know, I said, wow, this is cool. I believe it was the Phantom Plus. What is it? The first one that came out that actually had the waypoint flying. Vision Plus, I think it was Phantom 2 Vision. I actually seen a video on that. I said, wow, that is pretty cool how you can just put the waypoints in there and just go from point A to point B and it comes back. So I waited and waited, and then the Phantom 3 came out. So I said, you know what? That looks like a lot of fun. You know, I don't do too much hobbies besides music. And after working all day, I like to come unwind, and the weekend, you know, get work away from you and just enjoy yourself. So.
Yeah. Because your last few videos, you've been doing a few Smule videos.
Yeah.
I think you've got a very good voice, very talented.
Thank you.
Do you sing?
I don't want to bore anybody with just drone videos, you know, so I kind of just wanted to switch it up a little bit to show a little bit of my other hobby. But I'm not a professional by far long. Besides that, if you don't have the words in front of me, I probably couldn't even sing the song. That's how professional that may seem, but I'm not a professional, you know. Yeah. But I enjoy it.
Yeah. So do you sing anywhere else then, besides doing a few Smule videos?
Well, me and my wife go do karaoke on the weekends at a little club. You know, we enjoy doing it. I'm surprised she gets up there and does it, you know, because she's not the one for crowds, you know.
So she's not listening, is she?
No, she's not here. Actually, she went to church.
Oh, so why don't you take your camera next time and get a bit of footage of her singing?
I might actually try to get a video of us. Yeah. I might be able to talk and put it on my channel, you know.
Yeah, I'd like to see it, you know, because
I think you will enjoy it, you know. I really do.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, because it's like my channel. You know, I'm not just a drone channel. I mean, this is the bit I like, doing these one-to-one interviews, because I love meeting people and talking to them and finding a little bit about them, you know. And
hey, that's good.
And eventually, when I've done so many, I'm going to go back and re-interview people to learn a bit more about them, because you can't learn everything about a person in an hour or 2 hours. And getting to know each other is better for the community, because I was on a live stream last night and Ozzy Mark came on and he suggested that all us droners go out on a day, the same day.
I've seen that. That is a great idea.
Yeah. Now, I said yes to doing that today, but it's been raining most of the day here.
Yeah, I couldn't have did it, dude, with the hurricane and everything.
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm going to get in touch with him and see if we can arrange a date when we should all do it. I'll then share it on the drone community
Great.
And see if we can get people from all over the world doing it on the same day. I'll then get in the bits and make a video of it all. which would be absolutely great, I think.
Oh, absolutely. To see different parts of the world. You know, I think that's great. Put it all in one collaboration video, you know?
Yeah, yeah. You know, I thought it was a brilliant idea by Ozzy Mart. So then, back to the questions. What are your likes? What do you like doing most in life?
Well, I don't, I guess I wouldn't say like doing, but I mean, I have to go to work, and I like the fact that I could support and take care of my family. You know, we don't do too much. Actually, the most thing we like to have movie night. You know,
Yeah.
we all, you know, try to keep everybody together. Cause you know, once they get to teenage, they want to go off this way, and you're gonna worry they're gonna go with their friends over here. You know, and all we could do is just raise them as best as, you know, we can. You know, and hope they're gonna make the right decisions. You know, but I don't know. I used to like theme parks, but we don't have that. We don't have those around here anymore. So, you know,
Yeah, but they're
we don't do too much.
too expensive now, Richard, aren't they?
Oh, you kidding me? It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the last time I went to Disney, God, I couldn't believe the price.
It's crazy, and I got a family of 5, so by the time you do airfare, hotel, eats, it's you're talking $7 to $10,000 for a Disney trip, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just having a look at the comments for a second.
Oh, that's fine.
Salty Nuts suggested we all meet up for a good old-fashioned pint. Well, I think that's improbable, Salty, because a lot of people are from different parts of the world. Like Moss 42, he's from Australia. Pink and Purple, they're from Greece.
Wow.
So it'd be great if we could all meet up, Salty.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't that be nice, huh? A big old convention, you know?
Yeah, we'd have to hire somewhere, wouldn't we?
Yeah, yeah. Hello, Uncle Dan. I want to say hi to Uncle Dan.
Yeah, and Mel's still in, and Barry's still in. Have a new video program. Yeah. Did you know, Eagle, they have planes now? Yes, but it's having the ready, Salty. Especially when you're a pensioner.
Hello, boss man.
I'll tell you what, we could go over to Fortaventura and meet JP. That'd be a good trip out. That's opposite Morocco. So you'd have a long flight.
So I guess everyone's having great, for all the viewers, I guess y'all weather is pretty nice, would you say?
Yeah, yeah. So let's have a look then. So here's another question, because I'm trying to keep it as an interview and not just a chat with the chat window.
Okay.
So, who inspires you most on YouTube?
Who inspires me?
Yeah. Who would you like to be like? Or your channel to be like, should I put it?
Actually, I really don't want to be like anybody else. I want to be myself and be as truthful as I can with my channel. And, you know, I'm not going to go to a channel and look at someone and then sub them, and just because, you know, I have to have a reason to sub them. And if I sub someone, I like to try to keep up with their channel, you know.
Yeah, yeah, because you've got quite a few subscribers, because you're over the 1,000 now.
I'm not sure what I have. I haven't checked it out. YouTube's been crazy with the numbers, up and down. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when I just looked, it was about 1,100 and something. You've got something like that.
Okay.
So you know, and you haven't got that many videos up, really.
No, I don't have any. I got so much time in work. I try to put at least one video out a week, but I can't even do that, you know. Sometimes it takes me 2 weeks to get a video out. That's why I've been doing a little bit of karaoke video too. That's kind of quick, you know. So, because I do have some viewers that say, "Man, I ain't seen your drone videos in a while," and simple fact is just I don't have time to.
Yeah, and then you've got the weather. If the weather's against you.
Oh yeah, that's a big part right there. If it's windy, same for you, you know.
Yeah.
if you're going out, you can't fly in 15, 20 miles an hour winds, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I know. So, you know, people think that you can go out every day or every couple of days
Yeah.
and make videos. But it's
No.
like me. All right, I'm retired. But you've still got commitments to do. You know, I've got my family, I've got the grandkids, I've got the wife who takes up a lot of time because she, you know, she don't want to be sat in the chair while I'm on YouTube
That's right.
or editing films. So I've got to devote some of my time to the wife. I've got other commitments as well that I do. You know, I mean, people phone me up left, right, and centre and say, "Oh, my computer's gone down," and I shoot round and go and help them. And you know, so you know, it's getting a balance, really. You know, I'd like to do a lot more. You know, I mean, I've got 2 or 3 projects that I've got started on, but I haven't done any more. You know, and I think, well, I should get one of those finished. But it's very and then keeping up with all the new subscribers I've got. You know, I mean, because if they subscribe to my channel, I subscribe to theirs, and I never unsubscribe. You know, I mean, like today, I got up at what 7 o'clock this morning, and I looked at 40 videos, made comments on most of them, and then went back on, came back on about 8 o'clock tonight, and there was another 40 or 50 videos, and I think I just can't keep up with it anymore. So I do my best, but you know, my subscribers or whoever I subscribe to, you'll have to forgive me if I don't watch all your videos now.
Oh, I totally understand. I'm the same way, you know. I try to keep up with as many subscribers as I can, you know, especially the ones that always support you and watching it and comment every video you do. They comment, you know. So yes. I try at least to keep up with them, you know.
Yeah, yeah. You know, that I'm the same. You know, I've got the nucleus of the community here, and that's what I try to do, is keep up with those that comment to the live streams and everything like that. I just wish I could have a memory of everybody who was on the chat, and I'd put them all in the description, but that's something I haven't got, you know. That's why sometimes when I'm doing these one-to-ones, I invite somebody to come in with me to do the chat part, because that's a big help if someone can answer people in the chat window.
Absolutely.
Because it makes it hard. So if you could travel anywhere then, Richard, which country would you like to travel with to, and why?
Country?
Yeah.
Well, I would like to go to the UK. But my as far as travel, I always wanted to see Alaska. The scenery is mind-blowing from what I've seen, you know. I've always wanted to, maybe one day, if the Lord lets me, I would love to go visit Alaska. The other place is Montana, the beautiful mountains, scenery, beautiful scenery up there. I don't want to go when it's cold though, because I heard it's pretty ridiculously cold.
Yeah. So
not really for the.
So you've never been up to Montana then?
Never. You know, I've been only maybe 3 or 4 states further from me. Florida, you know, Mississippi, Alabama. I've been to Denver, Colorado one time, and I've been to California, but that's it.
Yeah, because it's often surprised me when I've talked to people from the States that they haven't been to many states. I mean, I've been over there, what, 25, 26, about 27 times, 28 times. And I've flown into New York and driven down from New York to the Keys. I've flown into Seattle and driven down from Seattle to San Diego, and from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. I've done Montana, I've done Banff, Calgary, around that area of Canada, and Toronto, and I've been to Vancouver.
So you've been to quite a few places.
Oh, yeah. And I've got friends who we go out with they've done all the states. They've been over to Hawaii, and they've done all the other states. So that they had a fish and chip shop in where I live. Of course, they used to take a month off after Christmas, at the beginning of January, for a month, and they always went to the States, and they just toured like me. I mean, all we ever did was we used to book a flight and then hire a car from the airport and just drive. And if we liked an area, we'd stop a couple of days in a motel and then we'd move on. And, we always used to go in Denny's or the Cracker Barrel or one of those type of restaurants where it was reasonable. And you look, I mean, I've been to Vegas 8 times, and I've never booked in one of the posh motels or hotels, Travel Lodge or something like that. And it used
right.
For 2 king-size beds, about $20–25 for the night, and then you'd go out to a buffet and it'd be what, $6–7.
When you're talking about 80 years ago?
No, I'm going back. What? I mean, even when we came to Atlanta, I mean, the flight was like about 390 quid because we came in November. The car hire was about 200 quid for the 2 weeks. Gas was about $2.19, $2.20. And I did what? Nearly 2,500 miles on that trip.
Wow.
We stopped in Motel 6s. We stopped in what's Motel 8s. I'm thinking what other motels, but they were all pretty reasonable, $45 a night, which I think's pretty reasonable, because I mean that's only equates to about £30 here, whereas if we go here, the cheapest really is Travel Lodge, and they can range from anywhere from £50 for a night up to £150 a night.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
Bed and breakfast is normally about 60, 70, 80 quid for a room and a breakfast for the night for the 2. So, traveling in England or the UK and Europe is expensive compared to travel in the USA. Because, I mean, we pay what? About $8 a gallon for petrol here. The average price, I don't know what it is in New Orleans.
$8? It's $2.30 over here.
Yeah.
$2.30.
Yeah. So you look at that, the vast difference in the cost of fuel is brilliant for you, but not for us.
Right.
But there again, when I was in Vegas, I was talking to a waiter at one of the buffets opposite Old Town, and in Florida, in Kissimmee, and he was only on $2 an hour. And I says, "How do you manage?" And he says, "Well, I've got 5 jobs."
Oh, wow.
And then you go to the other extreme. We stopped in Vegas, and one of the hotels we stopped at in Fremont Street, they had valet parking. You couldn't park the car yourself. And I was talking to the valet bloke, and he was saying, I can make anywhere from $300 to $500 a day. And
parking cars?
Yeah, parking cars. And I thought, yeah, no wonder, because I used to get up, go out in the morning, come back at dinner time, then go out in the afternoon, and then come back, and then go out in the evening. He was getting like $15 a day from me.
What?
Just for me to park the car.
Well, he liked you, huh?
yeah. But you take that as the average guess.
Yeah.
Going out 4 times a day, and what I mean, I used to give him about $3 a tip, which is about 10% or 15%, which is a normal tip over there. And yet you look at it, and it's like somebody on here. His wife works at Denny's. She's manageress of Denny's, and he was telling me that she's the same, very low paid annual hourly rate, because she prefers to keep her tips, and she earns more in tips than she would getting paid hourly rate.
If I may ask you, what is minimum wage over there?
£7.50, £7.60 at the moment, which is about $9.
Okay, $9.
Yeah, yeah, that's a minimum wage. But I mean, you get, if you've got qualifications, you can be earning anywhere from 25,000 up to $50,000 a year if you've got your qualifications and you've got a trade like yours. Okay. I think the average wage for a tradesman like you in hydraulics is about $45,000 a year.
Yeah.
I don't know how that compares with what you're earning over.
I average, well, I don't get salary, so I got some echo going on. Excuse me.
Well, Uncle Dan's been quite a few places. He's been to Spain, Italy, Kuwait, Thailand, Japan, Okinawa, and South Korea. Oh, I'd love to go to South Korea. I've been to China, but Japan.
You've been to China?
Yeah, I've been to China. I've done the Great Wall. I've done Shanghai, Beijing, the Terracotta Army, and I've done all of Europe.
Wow.
But the place I'd like to go is Alaska. That's on the book.
Oh, you too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because of the wildlife, you know, I'd love to go out, you know, and film the bears and everything like that. Absolutely brilliant. I'd love to go to Yellowstone Park as well. Because
never been there.
So it's on the bucket list. Hopefully, I might make it. You never know.
Are you far from Manchester?
125 miles.
Okay.
We're on the East Coast. Manchester's in the middle. So it's about 125 miles from Cleethorpes. Takes me about 2 hours, 20 minutes by car.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, and then London takes about 4 hours. London's about 170 miles away from where I live. But where I live used to be the Grimsby used to be the largest fishing port in Europe, going back 20 odd years ago. Because when I first left school, I trained as a diesel mechanic. After 3 years, I was fed up of getting my hands mucky, and I started a fish round because my uncle started a fish round, and I used to work 3 days a week selling fish down in London, Oxfordshire and London. And, you know, I made a good living.
Cool.
So I haven't worked for many employers. I've always worked for myself virtually.
And you've been married how many years?
I've been 40 odd years.
Wow.
Let's have a look. 1980. Yeah, about 41 years.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's you know, and when I see these people, I was watching a program on TV the other day, and they were talking about mini marriages. You know, not staying, you know, just getting
together
on and moving on. And I think I can only cope with one, Richard. You know, you know, because the wife always says, if anything happened to me, would you get anybody else? I says, no, I've got my computer, I've got my live streaming, I've got my camera.
Good answer.
I'm quite all right. Now, if I'd have been 20 and she'd have said that, well, that's different. But, you know, I look at it this way, that if I got into another relationship, that would mean they'd want more money, they'd want a car, they'd want an house. And I think, oh, no, thank you. You know, I'm quite, you know, me and the wife get on all right. She's not interested in my hobby.
Neither is mine.
and you know, but she lets me get on with it, you know. But like when I go out with a drone, she'll come out with me in the car and sit in the car. But we're like chalk and cheese, because if somebody, like on here, I've met quite a few nice people, and they've all invited me over to different places. like yourself, and she'll go, well, you don't know them, you don't know them, you can't do that, you can't do that. And I go, why? You know, so she waits for an invite, whereas I am forward and I would go. If someone said to me,
my wife's not related to your wife?
yeah, but that's the way some women are, you know. I mean, like, we went to Sheffield the other week to see the grandson, because he's in hospital because he fell and broke his back. And
sorry to hear that.
That's all right. And Pixie's channel lives in Sheffield. So I just went round. I didn't even phone him up. I just got his address and drove round, knocked on the door. And they said, oh, there's an old guy with a beard here. And I went in. And they've been round to mine now. And he flew me drone the other week. But that's the way I am. You know, if someone says, well, if you're in the area, pop in for a coffee. If I'm in the area, I pop in for a coffee.
That's great.
You know, and I'd go anywhere to meet anybody if I was in the area. You know, if like I met up with Simon of Wild Presentations, and we had a great 5 hours together just filming butterflies. But I didn't know him only through YouTube, doing live streaming and talking to him. And, you know, I'm going to meet up with him again. I could have gone last Sunday, but because we went over to see the grandson in hospital, I couldn't make it.
Well, if you ever come down to New Orleans, you better look me up.
Oh, don't worry. If I ever get back to New Orleans,
I'm going to have to make you a seafood gumbo.
Yeah. I forget when the last time I was there. I was there about 4 years ago for the in February for the Mardi Gras.
Oh, it's crazy down here for Mardi Gras.
Yeah. And we stopped at a travel lodge about 25 miles away. I forget what, you know, on the eye. I'll get me DVD out for next time, and I'll tell you next time.
Well, you had a great time. That's all that matters.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what's the worst time? What's been the worst time in your life?
Oh,
because we've all had one or two bad moments in life. So,
I have. Well, growing up as a kid, I've been shoved around foster home. You know.
Yeah.
I try to. My mother and my brother and my sister, they're all gone now, so I'm the only one left. In Palmisano, you know.
Yeah.
My mother she died like 3 years ago, and my brother, he's been gone about 20 years. He committed suicide, and well, actually, he was murdered. And my sister, she committed suicide about 3 years ago. So that was pretty down part of my life, you know.
Yeah,
it still is, you know. But
yeah,
I get up every morning, thank God I'm here, you know, and thank God I got a job and I'm supporting my family because, you know, just got to trust in him. You know?
Yeah, it's like mine. The worst time of my life was I had a cousin who lived in Nelson in Lancashire, and she had a miscarriage. She was only in her early 20s. She had a miscarriage, so she suffered with postnatal depression, and no one knew at the time. This was back in 1990, and she got divorced from her husband and got a large sum of money, got on a coach from Nelson to London, and then London to Barcelona. Same day, caught another bus back to London, and then we didn't know where she was. And about 9 months later, we have a series that was called Crime Watch, and her picture was on Crime Watch. Didn't recognise her because her face was like a balloon, you know. She'd been kicked and everything like this. But somebody remembered her from the coach trip to Barcelona, and she was murdered in London, in Beckton area of London. She was kicked to death. Never found the money she had. Never found any of her clothes, and to this day they've never found anybody. You know, and she was only in her early 20s, as I say. And, you know, that was devastating.
That's horrible, man. That's horrible.
Yeah. But you know, you look at what happens now in life throughout the world. There's a lot of violence. There's even a lot of hate on YouTube when you look at the people. You know, because people, I don't know, they can't say sorry.
No,
it's such a simple thing. I try not to fall out with anyone. You know, I mean, I'll take a laugh, I'll take a joke, but I never get personal with anyone. You know, you never talk about personal things, and you never call anybody, because we're all different. We're all individuals. We're all imperfect. We all have problems in life.
yep.
You know, it's, if you've got help out there, if you've got a friend who you can talk to, that's what you want, is people who you can sit and talk and tell your problems. If you can't talk to them, you talk to the highest possible one. That's him up there.
That's right.
Know, if you've got a Christian faith, or you've got a Muslim faith, or whatever faith you are, you've got that, haven't you?
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, that's getting a bit thingy bob then. So yeah, what's your interview with Ozzy Mark? Which what made you interview Ozzy Mark?
Well, he wanted to interview me. He texted me and said, "Hey, you know, let's help each other out. You know, I'll interview you." And then I said, "Well, you know what? I'll return the favor. I'll interview you." You know, it was great. It's ain't that something, how you can just you meet new people on YouTube and they become your family. That's pretty cool, you know.
Yeah. Well, they do, don't they? And this is what this is all about, especially this one-to-one series that I've done, because I think you're about the 28th or 29th person or channel that I've interviewed on it. I was going to interview Drone Worship on Thursday night, but I had a few family problems, so I had to call that off. But
he's a good guy. Yeah,
I'm arranging to interview him next week. So have you ever met him? Because he's from Florida.
Yeah, he's from Tampa.
Yeah.
He has a lot of good videos. What he uses the you know, not like our drones. He like the Bugs 3.
Yeah.
He flies a lot. He does a lot of tutorials. You know, he's a great guy. I've joined some of his hangouts. You know, he makes you feel welcome when you're in there. You know, in the room with him,
yeah,
you know?
he does. Yeah, Daniel is his name, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like me and you. I felt like I've known you for forever, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. You know, I mean, you were the same before we started the hangout, when we chatted last week. Mm-hmm. So relaxed, so easy, wasn't it? You know, I mean.
Well, that's how it should be, you know.
And that's the way, you know. And
that's how it should
you and your family are welcome over to the UK anytime, because where I live, I'm in an old people's complex, and they have got a bedroom downstairs that they charge £6 a night for. So I can always put anybody up. You know,
that would be cool.
So if you brought the full family over, and then I'd have to, I've got my daughter, I've got my son, that they could put them up, you know, so you'd be welcome anytime.
That'd be like an European vacation, huh?
Yeah.
Make another series. Make another series of it.
If you ever want to, you know, the invitation's there for you and your family.
Great.
I'd love to meet you, and you know, I'll show you a bit of the UK. I'd take you around. You know,
I'd love it.
The Lake District, London, Norfolk, where else? Scotland, Wales.
Wow.
You know, some lovely places here. You know, like there is in the States. There's some wonderful places all over the world. Come to that, and there's some wonderful people, isn't there? So, oh yeah, what was I going to? What have I got down here? Archdiocese of New Orleans video. I enjoyed that flight over that church.
St. Louis Cathedral? Yeah.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was. Now, what I was going to ask you on that was, you've flown over it. Why didn't we see inside of it?
I had took some, you know, funny you said that, because after I did that video, I couldn't bring the drone inside, of course, but
Yeah.
I should have took some footage from my iPhone
Yeah.
and edited in that video, you know, but I was so excited to get the footage to be that close to it, you know.
Yeah.
Because
So,
have you ever been inside of it?
no, that's why I'm asked it. That's why I want to see
Oh
it.
man, yeah,
Because,
that is.
you know, we're seeing the aerial footage of it. I think
Mhm.
you should go back with your iPhone and do a bit in there, and then re-edit it all together with a bit of commentary on.
Great idea. I'm going to keep that in mind there.
And
That's a great idea.
and I, you know, because that's what I think is wrong with a lot of drone footage, because you want to see some ground shots, you want to see different other shots with your aerial footage, because really all aerial footage is to show people where you are, show people the surrounding, and then you
Right.
go ground shots, you do a bit of vlogging, tell people where you are, tell people a bit of history about the place and everything like that, and then it makes aerial photography or videography a lot more interesting.
You're right. And you know how it is when you get out to an area you want to fly. It's like you try to remember everything you want to get, you know?
Yeah.
So me, I'm off to the spot. I'm already trying to put an edit together before I even get the footage, you know?
Yeah.
But you just don't think it. That's a great idea. I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah, and I've got a little project that I'm working on, that on the last day of October, 31st, I think, or am I? Yeah, on the 31st of October, I'm doing a day in the life of our YouTube community. So, do you want to be in on that, Richard?
I would love to.
Well, what it involves?
What day? What?
It's going to be the last day in October.
Okay.
I'm trying to arrange it with about 25 of us. And what I want you to do is film your day, not the full day, but little snippets of your day. Yeah.
Okay.
Then you upload the raw footage to your YouTube channel unlisted. Then you send the link to all the members in the group.
Okay.
So if there's 25 members, you'll get 24 links to their videos, and then you will have to edit all the footage together to a 20-minute long video.
20 minutes.
Yeah. So, you know, you start with you can use all 24, or you can use, well, no, that is a stipulation. You've got to use some part of everybody's video.
Oh, that's a little challenge there.
And the reason why I'm doing it is because I want to see how different people edit, and it gives us something to do.
Okay.
So I'm hoping I'm going to get Moz42 involved in that. Yourself, Vinny G, and a few others from the States. I've got a few subscribers who I subscribe to who live in China, a couple in Japan. So I'm trying to get it as a worldwide community thing, just to see.
Awesome. Well, I'll be getting back with you on that. Okay, you know, some of the things I need to know.
Yeah.
You don't do Halloween though, right?
And then the other one is that drone one for the day, which I'll have to arrange with Aussie Mart, and then we'll have to get together with a lot of droners and see if we can do something similar on that.
Okay, sounds good.
Because that'd be great, that one, I think. You know, the drone footage from around the world on a particular day.
That would be great.
So I see that you're vaping, so you must have been a smoker in your life then. So
yes.
How long have you been a vapor?
I'm going to say about a year.
About a year. And do you feel any better with packing in smoking? Personal question.
Oh, yes. I only have 3 milligrams of nicotine in my vape, so
yeah.
And I mainly at work is when I use it the most, when you're busy at work. But yeah, I feel a lot better without the cigarettes. It's a different feel. I'm not saying that this is good, because they say anything you put in your lungs ain't really,
No,
good for the body.
no. And see, you're at an age really where you should be packing it all in together, because you would see the effects better.
Right.
I mean, I packed in smoking when I was 18. I smoked for about 2 years. And when the price went up by about 2 shillings, I thought, that's it. I'm not doing any more. I'm not smoking. And I got drunk on my 18th birthday, and I swore to myself that's the last time I was going to get drunk. So
wow.
So now I enjoy a small glass of whiskey with dry ginger, but if I go out, I drink blackcurrant and soda. Don't touch a drop of alcohol out. But I've got 5 bottles of whiskey in the cupboard, and a couple of bottles of brandy, and they've been in there for I would say 10 years.
Really? That's pretty good, buddy. that's good. I don't drink.
Yeah, because the only time I ever open them is if the son-in-law comes, because he likes the whiskey, and he'll have that much whiskey, and I have that much. So he'll finish a bottle when he comes. So
I like a beer every now and then, maybe a Bud Light, but I used to drink Long Island iced teas when I was younger. We'd go in the club and hangovers, but those kind of just drew away from me drinking, So I'll just have a beer every now and then,
Yeah. So you mentioned you go to church. How often do you go to church? Because
I go every Sunday.
So I presume where you're living there that you'd be a Catholic religion.
You got it. And you believe it or not, I just became a Catholic 2 years ago.
Oh,
because my wife had got me into it. I never had any religion growing up. I never went to church at all growing up.
Yeah.
And I started going with her, and next thing you know, she sings and her dad plays the guitar. So they asked me, "Oh, would you like to join us in mass to play every Sunday?" I said, "Sure," and one thing led to another, and I enjoy doing it. It's and every Sunday it's 10:30 mass. It's only an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't give an hour to the Lord,
Yeah.
So I enjoy it.
Yeah. Cheerio, John. Thanks for dropping by. Anyway, really appreciate that. What was I going to say then? The thought's just gone out of my head then, because when you mentioned that it's only an hour and you give it up. Oh yeah, that was it. Because I was thinking, all the time I've been coming down to the southern states, the one thing I always wanted to do was go to these where they sing and those type of churches, because I go in and see them all do it. So you have that type of thing in your church, do you then?
Not as loud, You're probably thinking more like maybe a Pentecostal church where they got the whole shebang, the whole band with drums, and we're a little bit traditional, but actually we're a step up from traditional, because we don't just have an organ playing. I'm playing keyboard, and my father-in-law's playing the guitar, and my wife's singing, and it's kind of uppity, but it's nice. It's really nice,
Yeah. Well, I mean, as you said, you've only been a Catholic for a couple of years, so before that, you weren't religious at all then?
Nothing. I didn't even go to church.
Yeah. And how did you become one then? What changed your mind?
Well, I had the priest that came to this church. After one mass on Sunday, he called me up and he asked me, he says, come up to communion, I go up like that, just get a blessing.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I haven't got into the Catholic really. I just started really coming, and let's just say he had a good little talk with me, and there's a lot of things I told him. I said, I don't believe in a lot of the stuff that Catholic religion. She said, you don't have to believe in that, you know. You just have faith and, you know, have Jesus in your heart and like you follow the 10 Commandments. I said, oh, really? That's it? You know, so
well, that's fair enough. So I'm going to get off that subject because I don't want to get into.
I totally understand. Don't want to drop the viewers there.
That, well, we've been on over an hour and it's just gone down to 11 viewers, but that's all right. So I noticed that you're wearing a Superman t-shirt.
Yeah, so, my wife got me this shirt. Thought it was
so what type of movies do you usually watch on movie?
Oh, I have a selection of movies. I love thrillers, dramas, action, and horrors, you know. And I like comedians too. So I'm kind of mixed. I like to watch a lot.
Yeah, you know. Same as me.
So far as the sci-fi is limited for me. You know, I like sci-fi, you know. Yeah. Like Star Trek. I don't know. The new Star Trek. Do you watch Star Trek? Star Wars?
Yeah, yes, I do. Yeah, I'm a big Star Wars fan, like Bossman. I'm a big Star Trek fan as well. I haven't got round to seeing the new series because it's on Netflix. So I will have to. I've got my daughter's account, so I'll have to use that to watch the new Star Trek. But like you, I'm into drama. Not particularly horror films. I don't particularly like horror films. Comedy I like. True life one, yeah. I've got a soft heart, you know. If I watch a true to life film, the tears often well up in me, you know. Oh, terrible! Shouldn't watch things like that. So, what about your taste in music? Seems you like singing. What is your favorite? Rock, pop, country?
I love it all. Because growing up as a teenager, I played drums. And I used to do the gigs every weekend. And from playing and being a musician, drumming, keyboard, you learn to play everything for the crowd, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I grew up playing country music.
Yeah.
You know, that's. Then I love the old Southern rock. You know, I love the old school rock. You know, I got a variety. You know, not too much on opera. Yeah. Opera I can't understand it so.
I like classical. I like opera. My favourite is country music, though. You know.
Okay.
I think country music has evolved over the years. I prefer the old country style. You know, Dolly Parton in the 70s, 80s.
Hank Williams Sr.
Yeah, Waylon Jennings, you know, all the old ones.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm old. You know, I'm 20 years older than you. So my time was the 70s and 80s. You know, and music then was music. To me, music today is all generated with computer. You know, they can alter his voice. It's like on here, isn't it? If you get software, you can alter your tone of voice, your pitch of voice. Willie Nelson, Uncle Dan,
Willie Nelson, Uncle Dan, there you go.
Yeah, I love Willie Nelson. Absolutely, the best. Oh, Bossman's not a Trekkie; he's just a Star Wars fan. Oh, Bossman, fancy not being a Trekkie as well. What about Doctor Who, Bossman? Yeah. So, has anyone got any questions for Richard on here? Because I see you've all been talking amongst yourselves, and I do apologise that we haven't stopped talking, but this is one of my faults. Johnny Cash, the Man in Black. I just enjoy talking, you know, and that's the problem. You sometimes neglect the chat window because you do forget that people are watching the live stream as well.
Doctor Who.
Yeah, Doctor Who. Yeah, did you get Doctor Who over there in the States? It's a BBC series about a Time Lord who's there's a new Doctor Who. They've always been men. The new Doctor Who in the new series that comes out sometime before Christmas, it's a woman. So she's who is the best, yeah. So
I'm not sure if we have it over here or not.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've seen it on one of the channels when I've been on holiday in the States, but it's on a sci-fi one. You know, you probably get it
Yeah.
on, but not as much as Doctor Who. Oh, Pixie's channel likes Doctor Who, but not as he likes Star Wars as well. But Doctor Who's the best. Yes. Have you? What's this? Uncle Dan says, "Hi, Rich. Have you gone
Crawfishing.
your crawdad?" Yeah. So,
Is that
you're
what
into
you
fishing?
meant, crawdad? Oh yeah, I love to fish. Me and my dad go fishing when we can. He works on the
Yeah.
boat still. No, Uncle Dan, I don't. As a kid, would go crawfishing, you know, with the nets, but I enjoy eating them more than going. So if they already cooked, that's better.
So has he got his own boat then, or does he go out in somebody
Yeah,
else?
my dad goes out. We go out and catch big bull redfish and speckled trout. You know, we go out into the Gulf waters. You know, salt water.
So
Not too much on freshwater fishing.
yeah. So why haven't we seen any of your fishing trips then?
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. Well, I always ask, you know.
That's already in the making.
Yeah. And dare you fly your drone from the boat?
Yes, love to do that. What did you see my other video with the crabbing video?
No. Did I miss that one?
Oh, you need to go see it. I'm on the boat and I got, you know, we went crabbing, and as a matter of fact, you asked me how many crabs we caught that day, and I said 4 dozen.
I did see it. Yeah, I did see it. Sorry, I did see it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's one of your recent ones, isn't it? It's not so far.
Yeah, but I want to do one where we're actually fishing and catching the fish on the line. So I'm gonna
because like today I've watched about 40 of your videos today, starting back from 4 years ago up to about 3/4 of the way up on the videos, you know, because I've seen all your recent work when I started subscribing, but you know, I find looking back on people's videos how much people have improved as videographers or filmmakers, because you do notice an improvement.
Oh, absolutely. Well, my first video was with the standard.
Yeah, yeah.
With the Wi-Fi connection, no light bridge, you know.
Yeah.
I think Two Wheel had a question for me. What software do I use? I'm not sure if he's concerning to me, but I use Power Director 14, Two Wheel.
Yeah, I've got on mine. I've got Grass Valley EDS 8. I also use Adobe Premiere, the Adobe software, and I have also got Cyberlink 11 on, or 12. So that's Power Director 11 or 12. Yeah, you know.
Ain't it great? It's so simple to use. It really is great, and it renders pretty fast too. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
It does what you.
The thing I like about it is if you're a member of Cyberlink's community, you get all the you can download all the
free
extra
zone, the free zone.
Yeah. Because I'm a member, and you know I should do more on it, you know. But Paul Walker's in as well now. Then Paul and Vivian.
Hello, Paul.
Laws is in. Oh, we've gone back up to 12. I tell you what, we've had some good people on here tonight, Richard. So what I was going to ask you now is, do you have to have an app to upload your films from the drone to the PC? No, you don't, Pixie. You just you just put the card in your card slot.
Card into the the little cartridge there, and just put it in a laptop.
Yeah, or your desktop, and that's all you do. And then you start editing. Put it in your software, editing software, and you start editing, don't you? Or I do.
Well, Two Wheel says he uses it, Power Director, so he knows how good it is.
Yeah. It is a very, very good program. So
yes, it is.
I've lost what I was going to ask you then, Richard. Come on, man. As soon as it goes, you know, it must be an age thing. That's all I can put it down to. I should know. I did it with a card you lent me last out. Yeah. Yes, that's all you've got to do, Pixie. Definitely. So you've got to get a drone and join the drone community, because there's a lot more drone people now on YouTube than vloggers,
Yeah.
makeups. You know, when you look, I mean, you know, I do the Drone Flyers review show on a Monday. I must look through at least 50 drone films a week to find 3 that I actually, when I find them, I think, yeah, people will enjoy those, so I subscribe to the channels.
Well, I should thank you for mine.
Yeah, and I always ask them to send me some details, and I never get an answer. I always ask if I can use the footage. They never come back to me until it actually goes up, and then they get to see it, and they go, oh, yeah, oh, thank you for letting people know that I exist, type of thing. So, what was I going to ask you then? Come back, memory, please. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Because you've interviewed Aussie Matt, are you going to start interviewing people?
I thought about it, but I'm not as good as you are.
I don't know, you know, because you're at ease, Richard, with me. You know, I mean, even Pixie started doing interviews now. Bossman's started to do interviews. Crimson Fantasy, after I interviewed him, he started interviewing people. And, you know, the more the merrier, because...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe I have to get some more experience watching y'all interview people, you know?
Yeah.
Feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, I look at it this way, that if you started, you would interview people, different people to me. You know, because your subscriber base is bigger than mine at present. So, you know, and we all come into these live streams, don't we? People always come in. And I mean, usually when I've finished on a one-to-one, I've usually had 100 views, and I usually end up with about 160 views. So people are interested in other people. So the more the merrier. I think the more people that do things like this on YouTube.
I want to say your subscriber is underrated, my man. I just can't believe that I could see you having out there, you know, 5,000, 7,000 subscribers. So
but
it was 9 something. It was like 9. What you got? Like 9 something. I'm like, I can't believe that that's all you have, because you worked way more than that. Way more than that.
Oh, I appreciate that. But, you know, the subscriber base don't worry me. You know, all I want is a good community. And at the moment, I would say out of my 900 and odd subscribers, I've got about 50 or 60 people that watch every video and comment on. And that's what you want. You know, it's all right having 100,000 subscribers. I mean, I look at Casey Neistat, and all right,
that's ridiculous.
He gets the views. As soon as his video goes up within an hour, he's got 10,000 views. But you look on the comments, and I think to myself, how many people really watch all these videos? And you know, because you've got TubeBuddy on, you can see what the attention span is, and if you go into the analytics and you think most people only watch a video for about 3.5 minutes, you think, no, you know, it's like this when I do the one-to-ones. I know people aren't going to stop by and watch the full interview unless the person you're interviewing is an interesting person. So, you know, but people who watch live streams, they come into the live stream. After about 5 or 10 minutes, they'll drop out and come back in later. And that's what happens. That's why the view count goes up, because you might have 10 people watching at first. Out of those 10 people, 5 might go. And then 5 more come in and they go. And then the original 5 come back in. So, you know, unless you've got an interesting show or an interesting video, people only usually watch 2 or 3 minutes.
Average, yeah.
Average, you know, that is, it's like watching a film, isn't it? if you make a film, what you do is you make a film in a 5-minute section. So it's like the soaps on TV or a series on TV. You notice it'll be a 5-minute section, and then it'll go to another section to keep the viewers interested, you know, and then they might go back to the first. And that's the way you do a film. You make it into a story, really, where you're trying to keep the person's attention.
Interest. Yeah. I try to do that, you know. I'm like, when I'm editing, I'm grabbing this. I say, oh, I like this, and then you're looking on the timeline. It's like, whoa, that's 10 minutes long, you know. Unless like you said, if it's really interested, you know.
Yeah.
But most of the part, people won't watch a 10-minute video, you know. So
no.
Now I try to average like between 2 minutes, 50 seconds to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, try to get as much as I can in there, you know.
Yeah, because this is, as an editor, you can look at it after you put it on and edit it and think, well, that is good. But then if you sit down and watch it again as a viewer, and then you'll think, no, I could drop that, I could drop that, I could drop that, and you could edit it down even further. I mean, I have done that no end of times. I mean, when I first started doing wedding videos, they used to be 90 minutes long. Yeah, you know, you've got the bride getting ready, the groom getting ready, the service, and everything like that. And then I used to do a first edit, perhaps be 90 minutes. I'd put it on the TV, look at it, and I'd think, God, that's going on too long. That's going on too long. So then I'd re-edit it, perhaps get it down to about 60 minutes, and think, oh yeah, that looks good. And then I'll put it on again. I'd get the wife on the second one. I'd go, well, what do you? And she'd go, oh, it goes on. It's boring. So I'd do it again, re-edit it, and so eventually, what I got a wedding down to was about 18 minutes. My weddings that I used to give to the bride and groom.
Wow.
Then I would give them everything. You know, all the footage I'd filmed during the day, which could be 6-8 hours. And I'd say, well, there's all the footage I've got, but the 18 minutes is what it is, a timeline of your day. And your guests, your family will watch that. You two will watch everything I've filmed, but you'll only watch it once. And that's how I got my editing skills down to a watchable length. Now, I look at what I do on my drone interviews. Really, I'm going to start downloading a few more of their channel videos and re-editing to non-copyrighted music. And really, another thing that I would like to develop the show, instead of just getting me reviewing the show, get a few other on the panel to give me their views on whichever channel I'm reviewing.
That would be good. That would be good.
Yeah.
But like you said, when you editing a video and you getting people to watch it, you got to keep it interesting, you know. And it's pretty tricky, you know. It really is to do, because when I used to do waypoint flying, nobody wants to watch a whole waypoint mission, you know. They don't want to do that, you know. So you have to chop it up, you know, and put the nice, interesting parts in there to keep the people watching, you know.
Yeah. So I'll ask you about your editing skills now. You know, when you edit one of your drone footage videos, do you put the music on first, or do you put the footage on first and then put the music on second?
Actually, I do it different each time. Sometimes I have the music already planned out for what I'm filming. So what I'll do is I'll drop it on the timeline and then pick out some footage that I want to keep to match up the length of the music.
Yeah.
You know, if you do it the other way, it takes you a little longer. If you know yourself, if you drop the footage on a timeline, you got to find music that's going to fit the whole video, you know, and you don't want to take any good parts out, you want to keep it in there, you know.
Yeah.
So I switch up, but I mainly put the music on the timeline first.
Yeah, that's a true editor.
You know, I put the music there. You
should always put the music on first, and then the footage. Now, another thing that I should be doing, and a lot more drone people should be doing with their footage. I watched Patrick Conlon's interview with ADMR, Andy's channel, and he recommended something to Andy to improve his drone footage, and that was by putting sound effects in. You know, like you've got your music, you've got your drone footage. I never use the well, you don't have any sound on the drone.
No, you don't.
What they capture. But if you're flying over a sea, you know, or whatever, you could get the effects of download the sound effects of the waves. Just
I have a video like that, and actually it's me filming a ship.
Yeah.
I flew over the ship, and as I got closer to the cabin, I put a ship horn in there, as if the ship was blowing the horn at me, you know.
Yeah.
So it makes it a lot interesting in the video, you know.
Yeah. So, you know, I did watch that, you know. I just wanted to see if you agreed with me, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
It's little things like that that make a video a lot more interesting, because, you know, you're actually putting yourself, you're hearing the sounds that you're hearing there, where people don't think about things like that. You know, so yeah. What else I'm going to ask? Brandon's. So, how old was Brandon at his graduation? The video, because I don't know how old.
He was 21.
21. Cool. So.
Wait a minute, I'm wrong about that. Hold on. That was this year.
Yeah. It was
22.
4 months ago.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
so
22.
So he must have gone on to further education then, did he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, because, you know, when I looked at the video, I thought, I wonder if he's been to a college or a university, the equivalent of our colleges or university or whatever you have over there. So that's a brilliant thing then, Richard. So I'm just thinking, what else I can ask you? Dislikes, music, travel, waste time in your life. So what other plans now have you got for your channel?
I really haven't thought about it. I'd like to make I need to really make some more drone videos. I've been slacking with that. Like you say, the weather, that all plays a part, you know. But the biggest problem is location. You start to run out of location. Nobody wants to keep seeing trees and water, you know, so you need to start driving.
Yeah.
You know.
But
so I think I'm going to have to.
Well, there again, Richard, if you take my advice, if you put in your ground shots and your other interesting other shots and a bit of commentary and a bit of you in it, you don't need a lot of aerial footage. And
that's right.
When you look, there must be some interesting little towns not far from New Orleans. I mean, I'd love to see the bayou, you know, some aerial shots of the bayou getting out there or whatever.
I got those coming. So those are on my list for sure. Like the fishing and what I want to do is I want to add the phone with it, you know, the audio of us on the boat, you know, and then mix the footage, the flight with it, you know. Yeah.
You know, which all makes it very interesting, you know, and that's, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing those. So we know that. So I don't know how much more longer you want to keep on with this one-to-one.
Well, that's up to you, and I don't want to bore the viewers. I don't want to bore the viewers.
If you, the viewers, are you still willing for us to go on, or do you want us to finish? Because I know Bossman's left the conversation, I think, or is he still on? Because I thought he wanted to go, he wants to do a live one, but I don't mind if you do a live one while I'm doing a one-to-one.
Actually, I'm surprised I would last this long with the hurricane out there. I was going to go as long as the power's still on. I was worried about the power going off. But
so was you there when Hurricane Katrina?
Trina, yes. That was really bad. That was, I wasn't on New Orleans. The well, you know, the East Bank got it worse.
Yeah.
I'm on the other side of the river. I'm on the West Bank.
Yeah.
I was really fortunate. I lost power, but I didn't have any major damage, you know.
Yeah.
And being rescued off the roof, a lot of people would just, well, you know, you've seen it. New Orleans is nothing but a big bowl, and all the water just comes in, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you, Mel. I hope I'm not boring you. Thank you.
So another thing I was going to ask you: can you do a shot of your property where you live on one of your videos?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Just a street where you live, or you know.
Oh yeah, I can do that. Definitely.
And an aerial shot, you know, just to make it a lot more interesting. Because you know, I'd love to see where people live, you know, the different places and everything. Because I'll get a shot of where I live. It's not that, you know, it's an old people's complex. Old people's complex. Oh. But it's you know, I'm not far from the River Humber or the North Sea, because that's only a mile up the road. So I've got the beach, and I've only got about a 5-mile drive, and I'm in the Lincolnshire Wolds then. So you know, I've got different scenery, but that's my problem, see, because I think, well, what would people be interested in seeing on a drone footage? Because as you say, filming seashores, filming trees are boring.
Yeah.
Now, filming churches or filming historical
places
are a lot more interesting, because I've got a bit of history about them. So, we've got Drone Wolf Media's just come in, Chris. He says hi to us both.
Hello, Keith. That's okay, yeah, Chris, huh?
Yeah,
Chris.
Yeah. Do you follow him as well, Richard?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I watched the one you did a one-to-one with him, and that's how when I subbed to him, and I again I have to do catch up. I can't watch everybody's videos, but I try to. It's impossible, you know.
It is. It is, and I'll you know, brilliant guy, Chris is. You know, one of these days I'm going to meet up with him as well. You know, because when I come to the States again, if I ever get there again, I mean, just think of all the people who I can meet up with.
Oh man, you won't have to get a hotel.
No, not
at all.
I've got Matt in Indianapolis. Matt's Big Dream. I don't know whether you follow him. He's a drone guy as well. I've got yourself. I've got Chris. I've got No End in Florida. I'm thinking, well, you know,
yeah,
absolutely.
Hell with the Motel 8. Don't need the Motel 8, huh?
No. And then I get a good breakfast. You know, traditional USA breakfast. The hash browns.
That's what I was going to ask you. What is a traditional breakfast for you, USA vet? What do y'all do breakfast over there? You have like a bagel or?
No, egg, bacon, button mushrooms, hash browns, onion rings, fried bread, beans, tomatoes, sausages.
Wow, for breakfast?
For breakfast. Now when I come over to to the US, I usually go in Denny's and I get a stack of pancakes with a syrup, with a bacon, with a sausage link, and two. Two sunny sides up. Hello, Granny. Nice to have you in here. Trying to get the movie played and get here and have it all done before Dark does this thing, running behind. Oh, it's Dark Matter on it. Oh, I do apologise. You know, so Dark Matter's going to be on as well. But I'm enjoying my chat with you. You know.
Oh, me too. Me too. And I'm looking. Drone. Chris says he's making sausage links and French toast as we speak.
Oh, you're making me hungry, and it's what?
Yes.
It's nearly 11:30 here at night, and he's making me hungry. Oh, Andy's in as well. ADMR 1985. Evening, Andy. Please, thanks for dropping in and seeing us. I don't know whether you subscribe to Richard, but he's a droner as well. So breakfast at your place, Keith. Yeah, anytime you want to come over, Moz, I don't mind. I do the cooking in our house. I don't trust the missus. Not now. Won't watch this back.
See that? I don't feel bad. I do all the cooking too. I mainly do all the cooking here. So unless I'm at work every day, when I come home, she'll ask me, "What do you want to eat?" Don't worry about it. I'll fix it when I get home. So.
Yeah. I do the shopping, I do the cooking, and I do the cleaning up, because all she does now most of the time is just sit in the chair and fall, especially in the afternoon. She falls asleep in the afternoon. She'll just sit there and she'll just go like that, because she's my wife's quite a few years older than me, see. So
okay, well, you never told. Yes, you did. What you said, you was 60.
She's in her 80s, my wife.
Wow.
Yeah. So else having issues. Oh, live feed is just spinning. No, nobody else has mentioned that, Andy.
Spinning?
Yeah. He said it's spinning. So I don't know. He's got issues with them. It's like Bossman and Pixie's been having issues getting people on Hangouts for some reason. Don't understand that, because I've had no. Oh, your son says Richard's an amazing cook.
I guess if I don't cook, he don't eat, huh? No, that's not true. They fend for, we have a night called. She'll say, "What do you want for dinner?" And I'll say, "It's fend for yourself night." So they all like that, because they get to eat what they want to eat,
Yeah. So it's like me. I like doing a nice medium rare steak.
Oh, medium rare. I like medium well. I like it pink, but I don't like it bloody.
Yeah. Because that's the first thing whenever I come to the States. I always try to find a nice steakhouse.
Okay. Have you been to Ruth's Chris over here?
No.
No. Well, let's just say they don't have price tags behind it. They just have like frowny faces and smileys. Because I mean, you can pay like $50-$60 just for the steak, no sides,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So they must be nice,
Ooh.
I like a nice T-bone when I'm over there as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We've got Sean Days in. He's just said it. Hi guys, nice to have you in, Sean. Andy says love steak, medium rare for me. Oh,
we're gonna turn this into a TV cooking channel in pretty quick, huh?
Yeah. Well, I've often thought about doing a bit of cooking on my channel, but my kitchen is what I would say 4 foot by 4 foot. Not a lot of room in my kitchen.
Wow.
To do a lot of filming, because I only live in a 1-bedroom flat. I've got a living room, I've got 1 bedroom, bathroom, shower, and a small kitchen, and that's it. But it's big enough for me and the missus.
That's it. Make do, huh? Yeah, make do. That's good enough.
Yeah, because I mean, most of our life we've lived in a park home type of. We've lived in a park home, a 1-bedroom park home, because we sold our house when we was how old was it? I was 30. So really, I've had no mortgage, I've had no debt, because I've always saved up. If I wanted a new car, I went out and saved up and bought a new car. The camera equipment and everything like that was bought through the business. So, I didn't have any debt, and I don't believe in any debt, because
me either.
manage on a small wage, and then because the things in life are free, the air we breathe is free, although it's polluted. I like the simple things in life, Richard. Life is about meeting people. Life is about helping people, because there's more happiness in giving than there is in receiving.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to give a lot. The most precious thing that everybody can give in life is your time. If you've got time for fellow human beings, that is the most precious thing there is in life.
Well said.
So that's the way. Yes, the best things are for you think you go out in a country, or you go for a walk along a river or a seashore, listen to the birds, listen to the trees ruffling in the wind. So relaxing, and another one of my favorite things to do is I enjoy going through churchyards, because where my auntie used to live in Nelson in Lancashire, they had the mills there, and if you went anywhere like that and you went through a churchyard, you'd see in the, what would I say, 30s, 40s, 50s, early 60s, a lot of the graves were of youngsters below the age of 10. If they managed to get over the age of 10, they lived to be 50 or 60, so very interesting. And to me, walking through a graveyard is ever so relaxing, because you can read it and you think, I wonder what that person did in life.
Very peaceful.
Yeah. So I've got to do one. So here's a question for you then, and I haven't got this written down. If you had the
not to interrupt you, but Mel just said, type in TGE chat so people can sub to you. Oh,
yeah. So do you want to put
my name?
Yeah. So do you want to put it? Do you want to put? Just say something, and then they can.
Okay.
Although I put it in the description at the bottom, but
okay.
Oh, he's put it, and Pixie's put it on. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you, Pixie.
Yeah, I should do that every time.
As you can see, I'm a rookie, Pixie.
Yeah, I'm just going to make. I'm just going to make Drone Wolf Media a moderator, if I can. Add, and I'm going to add. I'll add Andy as well. Add as a moderator. That's it. So they can always post anything now, can't they?
Always learn something every day.
Yeah. So if you had the opportunity of going back in time, what time period and who would you like to meet the most?
Oh, good question. Let's see. Well, if I had to go back in time, I'd probably want to go back to maybe when I was a kid. As far as who to meet, wow, maybe a celebrity singer. Haven't met any celebrities. Not even going to concerts. You know how people get autographs signed. I'd like to meet George Strait at a concert, talking one-on-one.
If you had the opportunity to live for eternity.
Oh, eternity?
On this planet, would you like it, or would you prefer not to live for eternity?
No, I wouldn't want to live for eternity.
I'm surprised because if you live for eternity and you didn't get what I should have said is, would you like to live for eternity and not get a day older than 25?
I wanted to
have the same vitality as you had when you were 25 years of age, and the same looks, never age or anything like that, would you prefer? Would you like to live eternally then?
Actually, that would probably get a little boring because then you're going to outlive everybody you've met. You have
no. If everybody else lived eternally.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
You know, so you had all your family. And
Oh,
everything
yes.
like that. And we didn't get old. We got to say like now we start deteriorating as soon as we get into our 20s. But you get to your 20s and you stay as you are then, but you still, you're another year older and another year older, because
if I still had the people and friends,
yeah.
definitely. Oh, yeah.
Because the way I think of it is that the things that we would all learn, like now, because we've only got 70, 80 years, maybe a bit longer, a few of us, but, just think of the things you can learn. Like you read the classics, and then say 50 years later, you can go back and read the classics again and learn something more, because you look at in the last 50 or 60 years as a species how much we have learned. I mean, you think 1920s, there was no such thing as commercial airlines.
That's true.
No such thing as cars. 25, 30 years ago, computers were just coming out, and look how much they've advanced in 20 or 30 years. So you look at another 20 or 30 years down the line, how much you're going to see in the next 20 years of your life.
That would be nice, huh?
The advances, yeah. So I'm going to throw that open to those who are watching. If you could go back in time, what time period would you go back, and who would you like to meet? Because I'll tell you where I'd like to go back to.
Where's that?
The Garden of Eden, and tell her not to eat that fruit. Because we'd all be perfect then, wouldn't we?
Yeah, huh? Everybody would be here forever, huh?
Yeah. I mean, that's if you believed in things like that. But, I mean, yeah, that would be the time period I'd go back to. Or the other time period, there's 3 time periods. The time of Noah, the flood, because I'd like to see if that really did happen. And then there'd be the time that Christ walked on the earth, because when you look at people saying you've got all these religions based on him, so he must have been an historical person.
How about the dinosaur ages?
Yeah. That would be lovely. The only thing about them is that you've got to be a good runner, because I'm not a good runner, so I'd have been at fairly quickly. I don't think I'd have even have made adulthood in those days.
Swinging 60. ADMR 1985 says swinging 60s.
60s, yeah. That's the time I grew up with him. Yeah, can't beat it. Cilla Black, the Beatles, the Hollies, Jerry and the Pacemakers, Cliff Richards at the start of his career, Elvis Presley, the King. Yeah. Oh, some stars were around those. And then you got the footballers, Bobby Charlton. Oh, who else? Bobby Charlton. Most of the England team that won the World Cup in '66.
So you're into soccer?
Yes. I'm a supporter of Liverpool, which is an English Premier League team. They're about 6th or 7th in the league this season. I don't go anymore now. I'm off to bed. See you later. Great stream, Keith, as always. Thank you very much, Chris, and Pixie and Jeanette, for watching this. It is getting a bit late. It's 20 to midnight again.
Wow. Thank you. And
So,
it's only 5:39 over here.
yes, I know. Well, you
Wow,
are.
ain't that weird?
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, and I've got an interview with AKA Our Life on Tuesday night.
Okay.
Guess what time I've got to do that?
Oh no, don't say 12 o'clock your time.
Yeah, midnight. Yeah, because
Wow.
they live in Wichita, is it? Kansas area, and they're about 8 hours behind, 7 or 8 hours behind them, because they're on the west coast near the central time, aren't they? Yeah.
Thanks for
No,
joining us, Jeanette.
seeing it, and it's only 20 to 9 in the morning in Australia with Moz.
That's right.
Yeah, all the different time periods. You know, oh, crazy. That's the only problem with when you do interviews. You know, that's why I always try about 10 o'clock, because on the East Coast and your time period, it's only 5 or 6 hours behind. Whereas when you get them like 8, 10 hours or 10 hours in front, or because I think Australia is about 11 hours in front, in it, or no, 9 hours. But then we put the clocks back in about 2 weeks' time at the end of October.
I wish they would leave the clock alone. Where did that? Who thought of that? You know,
I don't know.
That is so horrible. I mean, fall back, spring forward, fall back.
Yeah.
And it's getting dark when you go out and fly your drone. It's getting dark at 6:30. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's it. Because what time do you normally get home then from work, Richard?
I work from 8 to 4:30, so I'm home for about 5 o'clock. It takes me, 20 minutes, if not traffic. No traffic.
And can you do any filming in your place of work then?
No, my boss is. You mean at my place? The drone footage you're saying?
No, the actual footage of where you're working. Not just drone.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Another good one. I see you giving me ideas here. Keep them up.
See, people who work never think about showing
what they do.
Because don't forget that footage in 20 or 30 years' time is great footage. Because I mean, I think back to when I started in the 80s with photography and so forth, that I wish I'd started recording my everyday life with footage, because that footage would be something that would be useful now. Because I mean, because I started in video in 1988 when video cameras first came out, roughly, because I've always enjoyed interviewing people, I interview how many? About 50 odd people who were in the 70s and 80s of their lifespan. And it was all on tape. And I interviewed some well-known people who lived in my area. And they had some wonderful stories. I mean, one of them was a second-hand dealer. And he was, when I interviewed him, he was 78 years of age. And he was still going in the second-hand business. He'd got a shop. And the stories he told about the fishing industry, the people who used to come in and pawn the stuff, and then, a week or two later, go back and unpawn it. Absolutely fantastic. And I had tons of footage, tons of stories. What happened? I destroyed the tapes because I just couldn't keep them anywhere. And now I look back and I think, why didn't I keep them? Why didn't I keep them? It's like I used to film our amateur dramatics plays and everything like that. And I've got a full case of discs with the plays on. But because of copyright, I can't upload them to YouTube. And I think, all that footage of people, going back 30 years of amateur dramatic plays in the local theatre. And, I can't do anything with the footage because I can't put it up on YouTube.
Oh,
It's like all my holiday ones. It's like all my holiday ones. I keep on putting little bits on, you know, but I don't get many views, but I'm not worried about the views. But I think I've got to get all those holiday discs on here because, you know, like I uploaded Rosie O'Grady's at Church Street in Orlando. And a couple of years after I'd been there, they closed that down and they closed the other one down because there was 3 big theatres you used to go across the road. And now all it is bars there, you know. And the places I've been, and I think, God, I wonder how much they've changed now to when I first went to the States, you know, because the first time we came to the States was 1989. We flew from Manchester to New Orleans, and we spent, 4 days in New Orleans, and then we drove round down to the Keys, down in Florida, all the way round.
I know you didn't come.
We went Naples and all around there, you know, and went to where they filmed the Tarzan films in Florida, Silver Springs, and you know, the places I've been, and some of the places, these out the way places, off the beaten track. I've met some lovely people, and I wish I'd just interviewed those people who I met on my vacations, because I'd have had some wonderful footage and some wonderful stories.
Did you enjoy the beignets? I know you had to have beignets, huh?
Yeah. I did, you know. So I love New Orleans. I think it's a gorgeous place, you know, a lovely city. But when I first went there in '89, you know, all these, what can I say? The tap dancers outside the French market, and all the singers and all the people who were playing instruments. When I went there in '89, I filmed them and they didn't ask me for anything. The last time I went to New Orleans, I was filming someone with a puppet singing just outside the French quarters. And as soon as I put the camera on him, put his hand out and he says $10. And I went, what? How times have changed.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Street performers.
Yeah, because people now do ask, whereas years ago, you could film anyone performing. It even happens here in England with the buskers. If you go to a city centre and there's someone busking, playing the guitar and drums or whatever, or singing, and they just put their hands out asking for money. You know, as soon as they see a camera in front, they want some payment.
It's actually, the city has actually gotten worse, you know, since the last time you've been here, for sure. You know, I don't even go on the other side. You can't, it can't be a family outing anymore without somebody getting, you know, your car stolen, or, you know, you just have to be very careful, you know.
Which is a shame, because when you look, you know, wherever you go now, you know, you don't feel safe because of the violence, the amount of violence in the world. I mean, I look at London, and, you know, I'd never feel safe there. I'm not a lover of cities. Give me a nice country village or country town. Yeah, you feel safe in those. But you go to big cities now, and the cities are getting bigger and bigger because that's where the work is. Although there isn't that many jobs about now, wherever you live in the world, because it's going all automated, I worry for the youngsters, because I think to myself, how are the youngsters going to get jobs? How are they going to get on the housing market? You know, because, you know, I got married at 18, and I look now, the majority of people aren't getting married till they're in the 30s. Most of them don't leave home until they're in the 30s now.
Yeah, it's not like I guess I always say the olden days, because I think like the times when, like, you were growing up, it was normal for couples to get married when they're 15 and 16 and didn't have to have permission to get married, you know.
Yeah, this is. Oh, Andy's just said I love Manchester as a city to visit, but give me my own next to the countryside any day. Love the greenery and the fresh air. Yeah, you're right there, Andy. So do I. You can't beat not living in a city because cities have a lot of problems in them. You know, I don't know that. I don't agree with these high-rise flats. I don't believe in housing estates. You know, when you look how vast your country is, the USA, you know, why do people congregate in large?
Oh, I know it just
because you know you look at Virginia. I mean, when I drove through Virginia and the Smoky Mountains, you look at the amount of land there where there's no buildings on. When I went to Montana, I drove to what is it? Great Falls, I think, and I must have drove for about 4 or 5 hours and didn't see anybody. Didn't even see another vehicle. You know.
wow, you sure you wasn't in the desert?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I saw more life when I drove from Los Angeles to Las Vegas through the desert. You see a lot more vehicles, but there, I drove for miles. And one of the things I always remember talking to somebody about, they says, oh, we love England because you've only got a 10-minute drive if you want to go anywhere. They did their shopping and they said it takes us a day to do our shopping. It's a 4-hour drive to get there, and then a 4-hour drive back. You know, and you think, yeah, there's some places in the States where you can go miles and miles. I mean, when I drove from Atlanta to Texas, I mean, you know, on some of that roads, I didn't see a vehicle for an hour or two. You know, because you know, I don't know, maybe it could be the time of day when I was driving there, but it's a lot easier to drive in the States until you come to a city, and then you go from 2 lanes of traffic to 6 or 8 traffic lanes, then that's when it becomes a stressful thing. But yeah, so all right.
Mel, thanks for joining us, Mel.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mel. Say hello to Boss Man as well. So how many we
got watching?
Yeah, we're still got watching, which to me is
12?
remarkable because we've been on 2 hours.
It just threw me off. Nobody's typing, but that's good. I guess that means they're listening.
yeah. So we must be interested. I haven't asked you half the questions I've got down here.
Oh,
Richard. So it's well, we've been on 2 hours. So because you want to spend some time with your family, because it's Saturday night, I think we'll call it a day now.
Okay.
And I'm arranging for an interview with Andy, ADMR 1985. So
good. I'll look forward to looking at that one.
That should be on hopefully next week. But the next interview I've got is with AKA Our Life on Tuesday night at midnight UK time, which will be 7 o'clock your time because you're 5 hours.
7 o'clock. That is.
Yeah.
Is it 5 or 6?
6 hours.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Because it's going on 6 o'clock over here. It's 5:52.
Yeah, and it's 11:50.
So it's almost midnight over there, right?
Yeah.
I'm learning. I'm learning.
Yeah. It's easy enough to remember that the East Coast is 5 hours behind because you're Central Time, aren't you?
Yes, Central.
Central is 6 hours, and the West Coast is 8 hours, I think, behind. And then Australia is always at the present.
9. I think it's 9. Yeah, Aussie is just waking up. It's real early over there. I made a mistake one time. I wasn't thinking that, and I said, "Let me go ahead and try to call him." And I realized, oh man, it's 5 o'clock in the morning over there. And he texted me back. He said, "I'm still sleeping, mate."
Yeah, well, you can usually get me about 6 o'clock because that's what time I wake up normally.
What's your average time you go to bed? Even though not including like on a regular night without your interviews, what time are you in bed for?
about 11:30.
Okay, that's good to know.
Because the wife goes to bed at 9 o'clock every night, and she falls fast asleep. That's why I usually do it between 9 and 10, and she sleeps till about 2 o'clock. And then she wakes up at 2 o'clock, and then she don't go back to sleep. She'll lay there till about 6 o'clock, and then she might just start nodding off about 6 o'clock again. So I get up about 6:30, make her a cup of tea, take her a cup of tea and biscuits in, and then I get up, watch me YouTube videos, catch up, and then she'll get up about 8 o'clock. I'll make her another cup of tea and biscuits, round of toast or egg on toast or something like that. So, and then we usually go out about 10 o'clock in the morning, do a bit of shopping, or we go up and sit on the nature reserve and watch the wildlife up there, or I watch the ships coming into the Humber or going out the Humber.
Nice.
You know,
well, I want to thank you for having me.
yeah.
I enjoyed it, and I want to thank the viewers for watching. Thank y'all very much. I know just for y'all to take the time out, y'all could probably be doing other things, so my heart goes out to y'all. Thank y'all very much.
Yeah, and I also appreciate and thank you all for coming in. And I will talk to you again, Richard. Keep in touch.
Yes, sir.
You know,
you gave me some ideas, so
yeah. Don't let this just be the one-off conversation with us. We'll chat privately on Hangouts.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
hopefully I will see you in Bossman's live streams or random live streams or Patrick Conlon's live streams.
Yes, if I'm available, I will be there. You know how that is. I gotta make time. You know, squeezing it. You gotta have family time.
Right, you've got to have family time. Yeah. So say thank you to your wife for letting me do this. Say thank you to your son for subscribing to me and leaving a few comments. And I think his sub count's gone up because I see quite a few are subbed to him as well. And
good.
You have a great Sunday. And
thank you, sir.
I look forward to you coming in the chat window on my future one-to-ones.
I sure will. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Good night, Richard.
Good night, everyone.
Everybody. Bye.